Is procrastination ruining your life? Is it robbing you of growth, advancement, and happiness? Is it impacting your relationships, your career, your productivity, and even your health? Would you like to overcome procrastination and get more done and get started or complete all those tasks that you've been avoiding forever? Well, you can. You absolutely can overcome procrastination. And it's easier than you think. Pay close attention for the next few minutes. In this video, I'll explain why we procrastinate and what are the 5 techniques that you can use to overcome this problem. Hi, my name is Rafael and I am the founder of BeGreat.com. At BeGreat.com, you will find free self-improvement content such as tools, articles, and videos like this, as well as self-development services such as coaching, training, and seminars. So make sure to visit BeGreat.com, join my mailing list, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to this Be Great channel. Procrastination is a huge problem, causing most of us a lot of pain, stress, regrets, and disappointments throughout our lives. The people who conquer this destructive behavior will become great and go on to lead great lives full of productivity, growth, success, and happiness. So it is critical to first understand why we procrastinate. And second, number 2, learn how to conquer it. So here we go. Why do we procrastinate? It's not because we are lazy or not motivated enough or have no ambitions. No, those are symptoms, not the cause. We procrastinate because procrastination is rewarding. Let me repeat this. We procrastinate because procrastination is rewarding. It provides us with short-term safety and relief. Procrastination is your brain's normal reaction to perceived fear, anxiety, and loss. Procrastination is your brain trying to protect you from short-term pain, frustration, setbacks, boredom, discomfort, embarrassment, imperfection, and even self-worth. It is really our brain trying to help us. So naturally, over the years, we have trained our brain to equate procrastination as good, as rewarding, as safe. We may say otherwise when we are with other people, but this is what our brain has been trained to understand, and that is what it does in private. And you know that's true. So this becomes a positive feedback loop for the brain. Let me show you. Look at this. I call this the procrastination loop. As you see, you want to go ahead and start something, and you start to feel this fear, this pain, all of those things that I mentioned before. That's in step number 2. So when your brain feels that, you try to avoid the task ahead, and you do something else. You run, you distract yourself. Basically, you avoid it. And then that becomes rewarding to you. That becomes a reward because you just got away with that difficult work that you had to do. And your brain perceives that as great. You survived. You're comfortable. You went back to calmness. You went back to what's familiar to you. And that becomes a loop. You want to start, you feel the fear, the pain, and then you avoid that task and you reward it. That's what your brain actually sees. So every time you go through this loop, your brain learns that if I avoid this task, what I need to do, then I'm rewarded afterwards. So that is a great thing. But what is wrong with this? After all, our brain is helping us to avoid short-term pain. There is nothing wrong with that, right? Well, the problem is the negative long-term results in our lives. Our brain's job is to make us safe and comfortable now, in the short term. It does not worry about the future. Its job is to avoid pain right now. It does not worry about the long-term impact of that. On the other hand, Our brain is also programmed for short-term gain, safety, and survival. How can it gain comfort and pleasure right now? Unfortunately, that short-term gain or avoidance or comfort or pleasure comes at an enormous long-term cost. That is the problem. Short-term gain at a cost of long-term pain. And that pain comes in forms of lost opportunities, growth, and improvement in ourselves, in our careers, in our finances, and loss in our relationships, and even our leisure time. We just can't truly enjoy our free time when deep inside we know we have so much to do still. This puts a heavy toll on our mental, physical, and emotional health, doesn't it? Have you ever kept delaying tasks until your fear and anxiety and worry gets to a point that now you have to do something? You must do it or something bad will happen. So now things get even worse. We train our brain to get used to this habit. We keep delaying and taking action only when we have a deadline looming or somebody's nagging or it becomes an emergency. We are basically teaching our brain to wait and take action only when it becomes an urgent, stressful, and critical matter. This is such a stressful, worrying, and defeated way to live. It reduces the quality of our life. It is not even safe, comfortable, or enjoyable. Now, we know very well that we cannot simply stop procrastinating. We cannot break this loop. It has become a habit, a rewarding habit, a powerful habit. And remember, habits cannot be broken. They can only be slowly replaced. So the solution is to replace the components of this loop. And here's the good news. In fact, we only need to replace one component of the procrastination loop. This one. We need to transform this pain, fear, perception and reduce its impact. We need to figure out how to replace that with something more positive, something less scary, less painful. Hey, maybe even something rewarding. If we can do this effectively, look what the loop will look like. We go from a procrastination loop to a performance loop. Wow, look at this. It suddenly becomes a totally different habit. My friend, this is the secret of the most productive and successful people in the world. They just transform this one component. That's it. Look, the start is the same. We're thinking about starting. We're thinking about taking a step toward something that we have been avoiding, something that's difficult. Now, step number 2, the fear and pain component. If we can replace that with a gain pleasure component, something positive instead of something negative, then our brain is coming to our aid and it will help us to take action. And that action leads to another reward. But this time, that reward is accomplishment, success, feeling good about ourselves, feeling confident, feeling happy that we got something done. This new loop I call the performance loop. If we can do that, we can go from a procrastination loop that we had previously to this new loop, which I call the performance loop. Start leads to gain and pleasure. That's our perception. That leads to action. Because we gain, because it's positive to us, we take action. And that action leads to a different kind of reward. But how can we do this? How can we replace that fear, pain stage? At the beginning, we said procrastination is your brain's normal reaction to perceived fear, anxiety, and loss. Let's explore this perceived fear a bit, because if we understand it well, we can transform it. There are 4 types of fear and pain that cause us to procrastinate. And if we can understand and identify each of these 4 fears, then we can transform and replace this fear-pain stage into something more positive and motivating. Fear number 1 is fear of failure. And that includes fear of not ever finishing, not doing it perfectly, not being good enough, not having the stamina to push through all the way. Fear number 2 is fear of missing out. And that includes missing out on something more enjoyable, more fun, more important than this task we need to do. Fear number 3 is fear of the unknown. And that includes not knowing how long it will take, how much work it will be, being overwhelmed by that work, and committing to something for a long time. We're afraid of that. And fear number 4 is fear of losing self-worth. This is the case when someone else tells you to do something, or it may be embarrassing or challenging, and that you are not good enough. And you think that you have to be perfect, the results have to be good. It's a direct hit to your ego if you attempt this, because you equate the results and the outcome to your self-worth. If you don't do a good job, you are just not that good. That brings worry, anxiety, fear, and stress. But you can overcome these fears. You absolutely can. Pay attention to this. This is important. Here are 5 techniques to transform those fears and transform your procrastination loop into a performance loop. Transforming fear number 1, fear of failure. Listen, when you want to start something, remind yourself that you are at the beginning. This is the first step. You need to only start. You don't have to worry about finishing or pushing through or being perfect or even doing a great job. You are worried about step 100 when you haven't even taken step number 1. Just start. You just have to start. Focus on that and that only. If you fail, that is okay. Start again. Keep starting. Keep starting. Over and over again. Every step you take, see it as just another start. Next step is not a step. Don't even call it that. Call it a start. I'm starting again. Zig Ziglar famously said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Or what Lao Tzu said, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Tell yourself that I'm going to start just a single step. I'll stop when I choose to. I'm in control. I just have to focus on the start. This will help you transform fear number 1, fear of failure. Your focus is on starting. Who cares about working hard or even failing? Transforming fear number 2, fear of missing out. Set a reward for starting, not just finishing a task or continuing a task. Keep rewarding yourself for every time you start to take action or the start of the next step. Even small, tiny actions. Reward yourself for that. We are talking about immediate rewards for short-term starts like staying on task for 10 minutes, 15 or 30 minutes. Take 10 or 15 minutes to do something rewarding afterwards. Have some ice cream, take a 5-minute walk, play fetch with the dog a couple of times. Do something you like. Whatever is rewarding to you, as long as it's a short period of time. All those things and activities that you thought you would miss out on, you can even work some of those into your reward system. Do some work, say, on tasks for a short amount of time and then do a little bit of those other activities that you thought you would miss out on. See, this way you are working those fun and enjoyable things into your performance loop. So you don't feel that you are missing out. You are integrating the two, the hard work and the periodic fun, into each other. You are doing the work and immediately rewarding yourself for doing that work. By doing this, you're slowly training your brain to associate working hard and getting things done with pleasure, with accomplishment, and feeling great rather than fear and pain. This helps you transform fear number 2, fear of missing out. Next, transforming fear number 3, fear of the unknown. Don't create a victim mentality. That's the solution. Don't use victim language. I have to, I should, I'm obligated to, I was told to do this, I'm forced to do this. This mindset lowers your confidence, your power, your energy. Your brain perceives that state as dangerous. It thinks, oh, I'm about to be in pain. I'm about to become a victim. I'm afraid. I don't want to get hurt. I am going to hate this. Abort, change, run, distract, find something else to do. Anything but this. That's what your brain does. Your brain is thinking, hey, what can I do to make him or her more comfortable? It gets into that mode. Instead, get yourself into a success, confidence, and control state. Get into a mindset of, I choose to, I want to, I am going to attempt this, I'm going to try this. Isn't this more empowering? Don't you feel in control? Doesn't this feel better? You can practice this. When you catch yourself using and thinking this victim language, immediately try to switch to a power and control language. Listen, this is not easy, but I promise you, if you practice this long enough, it will get easier and easier, and it will become a habit. So try it. This helps to transform fear number 3, fear of the unknown. Next, transforming fear number 4, fear of losing self-worth. Measure your self-worth based on the effort, the work, the persistent starts, not the outcome. Focus on effort now, not on the result later. Focus on just producing, not perfecting. Just do a little bit of work. Love yourself for trying. Reward yourself for starting. Be proud of yourself for persisting. Do not tie your self-confidence and self-worth to step number 100 if you're working on step number 5. You are great, you're wonderful, you're already a champ for starting step number 5. Do you understand this mindset? This helps you transform fear number 4, fear of losing self-worth. And lastly, number 5, this will transform all of the 4 fears. Set pull goals, not push goals. When you set a goal for each of those small steps, those small starts as I call them, make sure that your goals and objectives are such that you are moving towards something positive rather than running away from something negative. You're not forcing yourself to go to the next exercise class because you are fat. You're going because you want to feel more confident and better about yourself and more energetic. You can be better. That's your motivation. You don't have to stay an hour extra at work because your boss demands that you finish that project. Change that. You're staying because you want to get ahead in this company and you want to prove your boss that you are great at this work and that he can count on you. And also, you want to earn that raise. That's why you're doing this. When you are in the darkness, focus on the light and let the light pull you. Don't keep looking back at the darkness and try to run away from it. Light and positivity is much more powerful than running away from darkness and negativity. Create the light and let it pull you. There you have it. Use these 5 steps to overcome and transform the procrastination habit. Transform negative procrastination loops into positive performance loops. Make your life better. Not only will you have more fun getting your short-term tasks done, but you will accomplish more long-term as well. Not only will you be happier and more confident, but you will have ever-increasing momentum as well. and you will use that confidence, that momentum to set bigger and better goals and accomplish things that at first were beyond your wildest imagination. You can do this. You can. Thank you for watching this video and giving me your time. I really appreciate you being here, and I hoped I was able to give you something valuable that you can use in your life. Again, make sure to visit BeGreat.com and check out the articles and the videos that are there. They're there for you, they're free, so learn from them, and I hope you enjoy them. And lastly, check us out on social media, follow us, and also subscribe to this channel. Now, go out there, be great, and also don't forget to always be kind. Take care.